I heard a lot of talk recently about Docker, so that got me wondering, what is Docker? And maybe I should set it up on my system. Thanks for checking out the Almost Engineer channel. My name is Kenny, and in this video, I'm actually be installing Docker onto my host system. So I did a little bit of research about it, and come to find out, Docker is basically a container type style system. So most people, they will have virtual machines, and those virtual machines run on a physical machine. And with that physical machine, you have to maintain it in addition to maintaining the virtual machine. However, with Docker, it is a self-contained package that runs on a host machine, and there is no, sub machine that has to be set up and maintained like basically an additional computer. So my current setup is that I have a media server, and on that media server, I have a virtual machine for my production environment, as I'll refer to it, for home websites. I have a development environment, and then I also have a dedicated home assistant or has-been instance virtual machine running as well. So that's essentially 3 virtual machines on top of the physical machine that I all have to maintain, which can be pretty difficult at times. So I wanted to try to simplify or see if there was a different way of implementing that type of virtual infrastructure, and ran across Docker. So from Docker, you basically would just have the host operating system, and then the Docker creates the various containers. So you have one Docker container for your database, one for your web application. And in my scenario, I would have a Docker container for my home assistant, production environment, development environment, and then maybe 1 or 2 for the databases as well. So I'm going to actually get started by installing this on my media server, which I have already connected to. So to begin, I'm going to, since I've already connected to the server, I need to get the latest updates. So I'm going to run sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get upgrade. And I'm prompted for my sudo credentials, so I'm going to enter those. All right, and so I have VirtualBox on here. It's not going to take too nicely to that VirtualBox unless I go ahead and shut it down. So I don't want to shut it down, so I'm gonna just let it go around this. All right. So then I need to, per the instructions provided on the Docker website, I need to uninstall any old versions, which there should not be any old versions, but I'm gonna run the command just for the sake of running the command. So Docker, Docker engine, Docker IO, container D, and run C. All right, so now that that command has completed, I'm going to run sudo apt-get update. All right, and then the next command is to sudo apt-get install apt transport https ca certificates curl gnupg agent and software properties common. Now, some of these you may already have on your system, but it does not hurt to confirm by typing all of the commands. And so, as you see, I already have some of the properties. So yeah, I already have CA certificates and curl already installed. So I'm going to install the remaining items, and if prompted, enter Y for yes. All right, now that that command has completed, the next one is to install the Docker official GPG key. And so I just copied and pasted that command. The next, you'll have to verify that you have the key with the fingerprint by searching for the last 8 characters of the fingerprint. So this is the command that is provided on the Docker website. And so that appears to be correct. All right. And then the next one is to use the following command to set up the stable repository. And so obviously we want the stable version of anything. If you want to use the development version in here, you can. You'll just need to replace the word stable with the word development. TORY. All right. And then gonna copy this command, the remainder of this command directly from the directly from the Docker website. And so stable. All right. And so this will add the repository for Docker to this machine. All right. So then next you want to run sudo apt-get updates so that it will go and pull those latest repository for Docker in, now that we've added that to the code. Added that to the apt engine. And then need to install the following bits and pieces. So the sudo apt-get install docker CE CLI container d.io. All right, and we want to enter in Y for yes, and we'll let that install. All right, and then the final step that it recommends is to run the hello world for confirming that everything did install correctly. So that command is sudo docker run hello-world. And so it's supposed to download and just print out hello world. So it looks like it has downloaded. Message from Docker. Looks like something's not quite right. Let's generate this message, Docker. So here it is. So it says your message appears to be working correctly. Installation appears to be working correctly. And that it pulled the hello world daemon image. All right, new container, streamed output. All right, so that explains everything for what I have, and can run docker info. Looks like I might need sudo privileges for that. All right, and so docker info gives me the number of containers that are available, how many are running, stopped, or paused, which is one, that hello world one that we just ran, and additional details about the Docker container and the operating system, including like I got 4 CPUs and 31 gigs of total memory. So hopefully this has helped you install Docker on your system. If you have any issues installing Docker on your system, drop those in the comment section below and I will answer them the best that I can. In the meantime, please be sure to check out my website at thealmostengineer.com, as well as follow me on social media on Instagram and Twitter at almostengr.